Speaking of bringing everybody back, that's... Can we move on?
Please.
That's why Steve's a bad idea.
Yes, I literally...
Speaking of letting endings be endings.
Oh, man.
What was your take?
Because were you
Chris Evans, Steve Rogers coming back in Avengers Doomsday?
You were at D23, right?
I was not.
Oh, okay. So,
dude, Disney just didn't decide to have me at D23.
Well, I'm sure you were busy being awesome.
I covered it pretty well.
Yeah.
Got some numbers that did 23.
Go follow his socials, everybody.
Yes, please.
He's working hard. But when they came out, it was like Haley, Robert, and Chris.
Yeah.
And when Chris came out, like his little speech was like, "Oh, you thought I could get a happy ending." It was like, and then he was like, "That's not true," or whatever. Like that's basically what he said, and we were all like, "Yeah, that's kind of what we wanted." Was you to like your ending,
walk off into the sunset,
the last scene of Avengers Endgame to actually mean something.
Yeah,
but I guess not. So yeah, what do you think?
I am very vocal, and this is probably second only to my Wolverine clip with you guys. The most clipped thing of me on the internet is talking about the x-axis of Steve and Tony with Thor in the middle and how that is the perfect structure over the course of 23, 24 films with Endgame.
Yeah.
I think Iron Man being a character you meet as a war profiteer, the most selfish guy, a guy that is only about making sure he is good, becoming the guy that jumps on the bomb, and then Chris, he's the one and the same to me, Steve being a guy that literally you meet jumping on the bomb, being the antithesis of the guy that makes the bomb, then being the guy that's like, hey, I've been a soldier my whole life, it's time for me to step back and have my last dance.
Yeah.
I think that is so beautiful, and then the one people don't talk about is the fact that we meet Thor, and he's sure of himself, and then he gets less and less sure. So you've got these two men deciding exactly who they are and changing in their arcs, and one guy trying to figure out who he is the whole time. Thor's on a walkabout, and that's why a lot of his imagery is like the weird tripping ball scene in Age of Ultron. That's why like him trying to find out who he is in Ragnarok and Love and Thunder works, because of what you get with Tony and Steve, because of their certainty and how it changes so beautifully, and it crosses over at Civil War. What's so amazing is the moment that's that comic accurate cover, it's them kind of going to each other's perspective of like, Steve starts trying to get out, and Steve starts trying to be his own man. Steve starts deciding to put down the shield, and then on the other side, Tony starts realizing that I've hurt all these people. He's known that. That's why he becomes Iron Man. But he also wants to be the guy that's willing to make the sacrifice play. He wants to put a coat of armor around the world, but he realizes he can't because of Ultron. So he starts making his way towards being selfless. So you've got this incredible arc that is now going to be completely gone now. Like it should have been, if we're doing variants, if we're doing alternate takes, that Steve is the one we lived with. That Steve is the one that we fell in love with. We're still going to associate any Steve that we see with that emotion, but it would have been nice if our Steve got to make that dance and live that, and then use Nomad, do another take. Like,
sure,
if you're going to have the infinite possibility option of, a Council of Reeds and a Kang Stadium and Downey coming back, let Steve end that way, and then we're still going to be excited as fuck when Captain America ×2 is in it.
Yeah.
So I'm not in love with it.
Yeah. That one really bothers us. They killed or ended 3 huge characters in Endgame.
Yeah.
It was Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, Chris Evans' Cap, and then Black Widow.
Yeah.
And kind of 2 of them are kind of back in some way or shape or form, and that just feels weird to me. I've gotten over the Robert one a little bit more, but the Chris one, especially when he came out and said that on stage, Alex and I were like,
we were staring at each other.
We were like, are you
like
serious? We were like, are you serious?
Because the cool thing about the Robert one is it feels like they hired Downey Jr. for 2 different reasons.
Yes, I was just saying that.
And it literally feels like you hired Robert Downey Jr. the actor and Robert Downey Jr. the showman. And I think as long as Robert Downey Jr. the actor keeps that mask on and is Victor Von Doom and embraces it and isn't Tony Stark, and Robert Downey Jr. the showman that you pay the other half of that island money for
right.
is the guy that comes out and does his Tony Stark swag, does his bravado. Because my biggest concern was the chair video. Because I was like, you know what? Downey Jr. is Chaplin. He's Kirk Lazarus. He is this actor that is able to do anything. The problem is when we associate him with Iron Man. The problem is if I see him standing next to Chris Evans, I go, it's Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's not a lack of ability, and it's not a lack of talent in what he's going to bring to Victor. It's undermining Victor because of Downey's association.
Right.
So as long as the actor is cast for 2 separate reasons, the chair video, when they scroll past for 7 hours of our life, and then it reveals Downey, but he's doing his Tony Stark thing as Von Doom, that's your problem. When he comes out on stage and he's like da-da-da, but he's not doing like Doom, that's your problem. But if you keep it separate so he's selling Doomsday, and then in the movie, every shot of him does not feel like Downey.
Not at
Every
all.
single
No, it
moment.
doesn't.
But that's got to be very distinct. The problem is Chris Evans sounds like it's going the opposite way.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's just fully him.
It's just
Yeah.
him, and then it's like, well, we lose everything.
Exactly. Do you want it? I mean,
We talked about this the other day.
you want him to keep the mask on because that, like, you
Is
just-
Doom
is-
and also
is-
association.
right. But
We made him with the mask off. Bold choice.
If you do all of Doomsday and you never have him take the mask off, isn't having it be Robert Downey Jr. Does that not feel a little cheap as well? It's
I would-
you're using Robert Downey Jr. just to get us there, but like,
Well, no, because I could see that argument. I could totally understand how that would be some people's perspective. But what better test as an actor than to literally do the ultimate in acting that not showing your face? Like, it's your eyes, it's your physicality, it's your voice, it's your everything.
Voice, yeah.
So Downey Jr. does not need more money. He doesn't need anything. This man wants for nothing. He did it. He did the victory lap. He came from the lowest lows a person can have, coming out of rehab, hitting rock bottom, to the biggest movie star in the world, to then I'm going to pivot and get my Oscar. What does a human being, like, taking away like our association with the man, a human being is always seeking, right? Like, we're always striving. We're always moving the finish line. One of the things that scares the crap out of me is, like, I've done Hall H 3 times, so I'm like, I'll never feel the rush of 13,000 eyeballs. Like,
Yeah.
I get how rock stars get addicted to drugs.
Right.
I get how movie stars are like, I need to buy a T-Rex skull. Oh no, I go to
What's
the government,
next?
$10 million.
Yeah.
What is next for Downey Jr.? Fucking never taking the mask off and showing that you can act your eyeballs literally out and do something that no one's done.
His net worth, I just Googled it, is $300 million.
The man could not spend the money he has.
No, an extra $80 million is really probably not moving the needle.
And if he's invested even 10% of it, he's making more money per minute than he can spend.
Yeah.
Like, he could.
do you think? So you think that if you go watch Avengers Doomsday in the theater and you never see RDJ's face, you'll be happy with
I
that?
hope.
Interesting.
And to the point where we met dude with his mask off. Fantastic Four, I was like, don't you fucking nope. Like, because it's the point of Doom is his ego, and what I love is there are two different interpretations of the scarring. There's one where it's literally a mauled face because he put on and it seared his face.
He's got,
There's
like, no
another
nose.
take where it's like, boop.
Yes,
and his vanity.
Yes, I really hope it's that. Me
And
too.
if they show his face, I hope it's vanity. The problem is, it's Downey Jr.'s face. So we see that face and we go, well, that's our association. And we know he's Victor. He's not a Tony variant. We know he's these things. So if they show his face, that's going to be a very tricky context of it not feeling like it's pandering to like his relationship to Peter, his relationship. So they'd have to, and I trust them. It's the Russos. It's an incredible team. But I need there to be a reason for that to be his face. Versus if he keeps the mask on, there just gets to be an incredible actor that sold the fuck out of a movie that broke every record and gets to be an actor.
That's so interesting. I hadn't thought about it like that because it still feels weird to me for them to, like, I get what you're saying.
It's also ironic. It's also really meta. Think about what Downey Jr. did to culture when he improvised the line, screw it, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
That meant no masks in the MCU. What if now he's the only motherfucking mask to stay on in the MCU?
But the whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm like, the villain in this movie is I still know that's Iron Man.
But you want to get to the point you stop thinking it. And that's not going to happen if you take the mask off.
He's got the green eyes. You can't tell behind the mask.
You should
the
forget.
physicality.
But the whole point of the casting and having him...
The point is to make the money back and have us have this conversation. The point is the fact that we're having this conversation.
But right, that's what I'm saying. But I think the conversation, like, that being the point, is a little cheap.
When the credits
You know what I
rolled
mean?
in The Dark Knight, did you think, oh, right, that was Heath Ledger? Or were you thinking about the experience of, it's crazy, he disappeared?
Yeah, sure, but Heath Ledger wasn't the main character of the Batman universe for 13 years.
And what do you do after you get the Oscar, your $300 million net? You try to up.
You retire.
Clearly he struggles. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you do to be the biggest in the game? What do you do to do the thing that no one else has done?
Like, if Heath Ledger played Superman for 13 years and then came back and played the Joker, I'd be like, but they never show his... that would be weird. That would be weird.
I would love the challenge for the actor.
As an artist and a creative, sure, but as like a fan who has watched Iron Man since I was 12.
Yeah. I want Downey Jr. to not have to validate us.
Why is it validating us? Like, they're using us. They're using our history with him to make the money back, but then they're not actually using him.
Because it shouldn't be a story about Iron Man.
Yeah, but how?
Victor has nothing to do with Iron Man, so it shouldn't.
Then why cast Iron Man?
To have us have this conversation.
Yeah, and that being the point is stupid.
No, I mean it could be if they do it wrong. I'm saying they're walking a high wire act over.
Oh,
fire.
I agree. I don't think there's a
and
way
I've
they
been
can
saying
do
that
it.
from the beginning. I've been saying from the jump, like
100%. I
Victor
agree.
Von Doom cannot be sacrificed for a marketing ploy.
100%.
So now we're 4 months out. What's happened? Like
What's happening?
This is the moment.
I'm still of like, even if whether they take the mask off or on, like what is he? Like I can't think of an answer that it fully satisfies me.
And I haven't either.
Right? So
And that's the thing, is like they're re-releasing Endgame, they're adding stuff, they're accenting Endgame. They're making sure it is relevant. They're doing that weird thing where it's like, after X2, nothing happened. We saw that like yesterday on Disney Plus. They're like, you don't need to watch after this. And it feels like Endgame, obviously Shang-Chi is in the movie, like those things, but it feels like Endgame is the last film that ties to this Avengers set. And the trailers even feel like that.
Correct.
It is not a coincidence that we're going from that into this, and I think that directly ties into Doom. But how is awesome that we don't know. Like, we all do this for a living. The fact that we don't have a single theory of how the fuck they can make that work, I think is unique.
No, I've got a couple of fucking theories. I don't want you to speak for me.
But are you?
you don't know.
I got a couple. I got no
are you
fucking
happy with
clue.
any of them?
I honestly, the more you guys talk, and I would talk to Andrew about this on our episode that came out a week ago. Maybe I'm just like slop. They're jingling the keys enough for me. The more I think about Doomsday, the more it works for me.
Oh, same. Same.
Yeah.
Like the more I think about it, because initially my thought process was, and this was months ago, it was Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom is going to take Franklin. He's got a way of going to a universe, and he can peer into all the universes, and he knows he looks exactly like the great hero who is also dead of Earth 616 MCU 19999, whatever you want to call it. He is going to go there because he knows he can be loved, and he can hide, and that's why the Fantastic Four are chasing him, because he's got Franklin. That was my initial theory. Now I have the theory that he's never taken off the mask, and he's only there to act and voice act, because he's the best in the world. That, as we can see from the fucking trailer that just dropped this week.
Dude.
The more I think about Doomsday, the more I'm like the more you guys are talking and arguing, and you're like, well, what about Steve, and what about this, and what about that? But then you say something like, yeah, it's a direct sequel to Endgame. And you got the RDJ Instagram caption, which is like, nothing gets fixed gently. And he's got the line in the newest trailer, which is much better than the first trailer they released. And he's got the line where he's like, all of you have been living stolen lives. And then on our last episode that came out a week ago, I broke down all of the characters that are living stolen lives. Like Thor, taking care of love, because eternity granted Gore that wish instead of killing all the gods, including Thor. You've got all of these characters, including Steve having a baby with Peggy, including Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, rather than erasing the blipped 5 years because he had Morgan. No, just bring everybody back. Loki, getting that Avengers 2012 that we see in Endgame, that entire universe gets pruned in Loki season 1, but then he's now the god of stories at the TVA. All of that.
All of those mentioned specifically by Disney Plus this week, by the way.
I know, and that's how it came up on the podcast last week. So this is my point, is let's like, damn it, I feel like they're doing a good fucking job bringing everything together. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
The magic trick is going to be when everyone that was like, phase 4 and 5 don't really feel as cohesive, if they can somehow do the double down of Doom feeling like he didn't need the Thanos setup, and this tying things together in a way that the Avengers movie traditionally have. How? That's why I'm like so impressed with me being excited, because I've been reluctant about this from the day they said
100%.
Downey Doom.
The day they announced this,
At
Andrew
Comic-Con,
and I were
yeah,
at
it
a
was-
dinner, and it was a business dinner with like 18 people. We go, so sorry, we are stepping out. We go into his car, and we were like, what the fuck? But like, the more I read,
it's working.
The more I get into it, I'm fully drinking the Kool-Aid.
It's also not linear, which I love. I mean, we've been doing this for 18 years. Like, the 2008 was Iron Man. We've been in this for people that were born the year that movie came out can fucking vote. It's crazy. I love that we're releasing a film that we as grown-ass men can go, I don't know. Because so often superhero films get to be like, good guy, bad guy starts winning, good guy punch harder, bad guy lose. And we don't know. And that is so much more exciting than any build-up in a long time for this genre.
I think, what he was saying, I'm still cautious. I still don't think they don't know what they're doing.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'll just wait. Are you okay?
I'm doing okay.
I
I'm
am.
not sleeping enough, Coy.
Yeah, none of us, but your body's starting to go like, hey,
Hey, come on.
What you doing there?
That's okay. We fly to London tomorrow. It's
Oh
fine.
yeah, it'll be fine. That's good for rest. The weather's gonna be great for you too. It's gonna be just top.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Holy balls, dude.
I'm gonna have to step out.
I'm gonna see pictures of you in London, just like.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all getting more and more excited as Doomsday goes, and I want to come back to that in a second. I'm still cautious. I'm still worried about some things like I just mentioned, but I do feel a lot better than I did when the movie was first announced, or when the Robert Downey Jr. thing first happened, or when the Steve thing first happened, which I'm still not happy about. But I'm still getting more and more excited for the movie, and that brings me to my question of, is this the